2, 1. One, two, 1, 2.
De-escalate officer control encounter.
So sorry. It's so loud in here, and I think that people really need to hear this. So can we please be quiet just a little bit and have some respect? Pretty please. Thank you.
That's my bodyguard, Edward Jones. I use Edward Jones.
Boys, what are we doing?
Override.
Look at that! He's so cute! Gracias! Dude, this is amazing. This is pretty cool. Igual.
I'm a whirling dervish, I always twirl on purpose. I'm so surface level, don't you look behind the curtains. I'm nervous like I'm Nelly, Kelly's so evil, he not a person. What would a good one consist of? I'm probably not as perfect. It's probably not in my bloodline. My faith lies as far as my fathers allow, but truth I control where I land. I choose to be an island, I choose to pick up my plans till they all seem folly. But I guess I'll change that present to the past tense. Like Paps was a bastard, flabbergasted. Pap has a running pattern, polish blotted, nothing matters. Turned out love an ugly dancer, I am. Generation violence, pollination, not hiding from it all till it all become blinding. Fly across the sky till the blue turn violent, mock the passage of the days all ever I'm in. Don't feel free to chime in, rather keep you tuned out. Stick with flat drink sip instead of fizzled out routes. I don't need to go your way. You stand and make that face. Life is made of serious work. I don't need to go your way. You stand and make that face. Life is made of serious work. This might be a bold of self-belief. No need for boating schools to tell me peace is found. I find my own ground, crash my own reef. No beef, all beef. Nah, that bang bang ski ski. You shoulder counts down. Clown caught up in his own heat. It's a lesson where you learn to shut the demons out. Nah, I'm kidding. You ain't no demon. You my homie, but I'm tweaking, bro. When you mix this and think you got business talking about my track, shut up, bitch. Sorry. I guess I went too far with that one. It's easy to blame the homie for my shortcomings. Instead of working for different outcomes. It's all love, but it need to be self-love. Need to do this for me, not for anyone else,
No,
but
but when he starts
not for
to
your approval
dance.
or the words or the rest of, but to feel peace when I walk in the respite.
Guys, go
It
forward.
should be mine. Now I know it's mine alone.
Like this, and they started leaning forward.
I don't need to go your way. You stand and make that face. Life is made made of serious work.
Yeah.
I don't need to go your way to send and make that face. Life is made of serious work.
Other hand. That one. That hand. Hey, come here.
What about?
I wanna I need a tag, yeah. I need a bag, yeah. Unless you talking numbers, we ain't speaking about the right things. Switch up on my nigga for a figure, that's not like me. Baddie with a body in the lobby, she like nice things. She used to know me then, she like me now, that's funny timing. Eyes been on that prize, I copped that cribbo for that timepiece. I'm trying to see the globe and sell out shows into the flight league. They wanna ride my ties, but they ain't even ride or die, please. But I've been short on time, been in the prime of my prime years. I said I never changed and leveled up, I guess I lied, yeah. Off that straight up potent just to feel like I'm alive, yeah. Mix that with that potion just to feel like I'm that guy, yeah. I know the one you talking to, he way outside the line, yeah. Go against the tribe, you lose your... Let me not even say this shit. I just ran out of my questions. I just got tired of waiting and got here myself. Niggas want me to believe in the dream that they see for themselves and still doubt in themselves. They might as well light up the L. High top on 10 toe, drip retro. Talking major plays, hella high tech through the getro. Pin game, been petro. Just set it in the flesh hole. Send a text mail to give a wet clothes. On the vapor wave to make a drip drip with the left lobe in the left stroke. I'ma make plays, I'ma go long. Never look back so long. Yeah. Flex up. Yeah. Shawty on 10, finna go up. Bring that to the crib, let me show love.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Nonito Donaire.
Could this be tonight?
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Good
Tuesday.
Oh, it's
Tuesday already?
Tuesday, yeah.
Wow, Taco Tuesday.
It is tacos. But we had tacos. Well, not technically tacos last night.
Yeah.
But yeah. So good morning, guys. Hey, I see everyone in the chats. Apparently, this is a hot topic that you guys want to talk about. And you know the thing is that it's been really interesting. But go ahead and say hi to everyone that's here.
What's up? What's up? Team Batman Boxing, Dewey Jones Jr., Morones, Ken Boxing, MMA 365, Sean Clark, Big Money, what Walt Daddy Ice, what
You're funny.
Luis Rosario, Ken, Coach Amber.
I don't think you should do roll call again.
Yeah, man. I think it's
you can never be a teacher.
Nope. Present. No, I think it's an interesting
topic.
It's an interesting topic.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting topic.
Yeah, I think. I mean, before we get into that, we hope you guys are enjoying the shows that we're putting on. We're literally, taking the content and then presenting it, and then also getting your feedback of what we should be talking about, what you guys are interested in talking about, and sometimes bringing you guys up here. It's interesting for us because we're actually in, we're in the game, we're in the business. So it's a different outlook that we have. And all perspective and opinions are always welcome here on our channel.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that last night our boys did get promoted in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yes.
So, I'll, give them that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The crazy part is you also have to understand is that Nonito has not seen these boys promote.
They've been promoted about 4 times now?
Yes.
For some damn reason. I just somehow, some way. And I'm in there too. So yesterday or last night, they ended the class, and I was like, okay, I'll start the car early. And then I guess apparently they called them in for the promotion, their stripe. So I was just kind of bummed about it because every time, for the 4th time,
like one he was in Philly, then another time he was
home.
He was home. I brought the kids to jiu-jitsu on my own. Another time, I don't know what the other time was. I think he might have been in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, maybe, but it's so crazy,
and
man.
This
because
time he was in the car.
I was in the car because she was like, "Hey, why don't you go start the car?" So
I did not say that.
I miss all the boys.
Yeah, and they don't
emotion.
say anything. All you hear is that, so these two brothers, and I'm like, wait, there's no other brothers in this class.
I was like,
Like, it's
no.
only our
And she
boys.
texted me right after because she was recording. So I'm, of course, I'm outside. But yeah.
Oh, he walks in and is like, "Are you serious? Like, I'm never gonna see them promote in jiu-jitsu." But that was a little just family life for you guys. All right, so let's talk about Conor Benn.
Conor Benn,
Mhm.
Pacquiao. I mean, for now, is there any sanctioning or organization or what is it called?
Well, let's rewind, right? So let's for anyone who hasn't been following what's happened, of course, if we go back a couple months, Conor Benn and Chris Eubank was
they were
supposed to
fighting.
fight, and they're the BBB, so many B's.
BBB,
British Board of
C.
Boxing Control. That's what it is. BBB. Well, then that doesn't make sense.
British Board Boxing
of Control. Where did the O come from? British Board of. Anyway, so VADA was actually testing the two fighters, and what happened is that, as far as I remember, there was one. Okay, the Daily Mail had leaked information that there was a positive test when they so they had to address it now that
Right.
it was leaked, because you have to understand that VADA is a third party testing agent. That being said, means that they have to report it to the commission, they have to report it to the promoters, to the fighters, and then that's it. They're pretty much hands off. They don't have any commission rights to be like, okay, well, he should be sanctioned or anything like that. They literally just do that, right? So what that being said, what ended up happening is they had to take matters into their own hands, and Conor Benn was supposed to go in front of the VBBFC and instead did not show, but sent a letter and basically retracted his licensing on his own. So he didn't technically get
So he
scolded.
didn't prove himself
No.
innocent in any way at all.
No.
Okay.
No. And I think that it was a big thing for a lot of people, right? Because they're like, wait, how come this guy he's not doing anything? Like, he just kind of skirted his responsibility, if you even want to call it that.
Skirted.
Skirt. Like, he went like a different direction. Like you went left. Like,
not squirted.
Not squirted. This is not sex and boxing. It is Tuesday. No, you're not. See what I have to deal with? See what I have to deal with?
Yeah, I'm just saying, so yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead. He skirted. He skirted.
Oh my God. So it's too early for this. It's 9:00. So, with that being said, it was like he didn't get his, slap on the wrist. He didn't get anything that he was supposed to be, in
because he just kind of like,
he didn't get suspended. There's no 6-month suspension because he took his license. He was like,
forget it. I'm done. Whatever.
Almost right? Like, it's like a boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Like, I know you're gonna break up with me, and so what I do?
So I'm gonna break up with you first.
Yes, you're like, we need to talk. And it's like, actually, I need to talk to you first. I'm breaking up with you.
Yeah,
Like, that's how it ended up looking like. Okay, and so here we go. A couple weeks down, and the WBC had their own investigation, but they were given a 200+ page document on tainted eggs.
Eggs.
I don't know how you explain
eggs,
200.
So how many eggs was he eating?
I'm still like blown over the fact that this is a 200-page document
about eggs.
Okay, so my questions in my head is, how do you explain tainted eggs in 200 pages? That, I mean, was it double space? Was it at a
what kind of egg was
18?
it? Quail eggs, ostrich eggs, duck eggs, balut.
But 200, I'm still like, if you could do a report, you know how like most like Javel right now, he has to do a 5 paragraph report, and then
Yeah.
as you get older and you get into
That's a
high
lot of pages
grades,
about eggs.
it's a lot of pages about eggs. Like, what was he doing? Like, he's like, well, before I explain this, let me give you the history of the
About
egg.
eggs. Which one came first? The egg, the chicken, or the egg?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what in the world were they talking about? Like, in this 200-page doc. Now, so that was kind of weird to me. How no one saw this 200-page doc. It's not public record. It was only given to the WBC. But again, the WBC doesn't license boxers. It was the BBBFC.
Right.
So it's kind of weird that they were giving it to a sanctioning body.
Right.
And they say
instead of the athletic commission, right?
Correct.
Like a commission.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So that didn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
But it could. I mean, WBC has a lot of influence, I guess, that could probably help him in ways to fight. Maybe in Mexico, for all I care, right? For all I could think of, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, I didn't understand why they would prove themselves innocent in
the WBC instead of the BBBFC.
Yes, exactly.
No, completely. And that's what doesn't make any sense here. I think, like, what would you have done?
I mean, for me, I've always proven myself with transparency. Of, hey, man, I didn't know I was eating this much eggs, and it, but I can try to test it out what I ate and see if I popped again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would prove myself that way.
So you would do like a what's it called?
Like a test of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, okay, well, if it's the eggs, let me show you. Here's the egg carton I bought, and I'm gonna eat a stupidly enormous amount of eggs for the next week. And then if my test result still stays the same, then it's the eggs.
Right.
But then he could only eat eggs. Like because you can't do like you're talking about like a controlled study.
Right. Controlled study of
what, so we have to lock him
and
in a
I
room.
think that the WBC should do that too, though.
Kind of lock him in a room and put wall-to-wall eggs.
Right.
And that's all he can eat.
I mean, I think in a way,
God, my stomach would hurt.
They should
My stomach would hurt. I'm just saying.
Just egg whites. No.
It would hurt.
No, but I'm saying is like if they are taking responsibility of clearing somebody else, they should kind of test it for themselves to see if, hey, what this is a test to see if it really does happen. I mean, granted that each batch would be different according to, I don't know, how they fed the chicken or something.
No, but that's the thing is that with eggs, you also have to understand like eggs are controlled. And what I mean by that is they have lot numbers like of like when they were made, what farm they came from, what lot it came from. So what would happen in those situations, just like I can't remember that UFC fighter that popped positive. He had gotten something from GNC.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the only way to trace that is trace the lot that was created and see if there's also trace evidence in those other lots.
Right, because of the contamination of like how they say this product might be is made with the same, like with peanuts and stuff if you have peanut allergies and stuff like that, right?
Yes, yes, within the same factory.
Yeah.
But let's get this one done. First was in the morning, Bri Milan with
Bri Milan.
Super Chat. Making it rain.
Hey. Bri Milan. Pac can fight. Since it's Dubai under USADA, he can use IV under 100 ml per 12 hours.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know if it's honestly USADA guidelines. I'm not really sure. I know but I think that was something because remember that Floyd Mayweather had used an IV and it was under like some
amount.
Like
right.
You can't have more than so much because it's considered a masking agent by completely overhydrating. But yeah, So I'm not sure. But I also don't know if it's in Dubai, and I also don't know if it's under USADA. I mean, I honestly think that if the fight does go through, um, I don't think Eddie Hearn's gonna want to have VADA.
Oh hell no! I don't think he doesn't want anything to deal with it at all, because
Because it ruined the fight.
knowing the history of Ben, because this is not the first time of it, that you know what I'm saying. Like it could there. I guess what I'm saying is he got no control over other people, whatever they're gonna do, and to test somebody and to have a history of it coming, not just once,
Mhm.
could most likely happen again, is what I'm saying.
Mhm. Well, yeah. I mean, like, so is he just not gonna eat eggs?
Somebody said, is it white eggs or the yellow yolk?
We don't know. It's a 200-page document that we don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
We've
all
never
I'm
seen it.
saying is eggs, and that has to be a lot of damn eggs for it to pop. I mean, you know.
I mean, like I said, we would have to go through the scientific breakdown of what is in eggs, right? And how many eggs are too much eggs, and what happens if you overconsume eggs like this. Like,
And is
that's
there
the
such thing as
whole.
contaminated eggs, like eggs that are like I don't know.
I mean, it's not like you're mixing eggs, like, like in supplements, like it's a pill, right? And or most of the time it's a pill. There's some liquid forms of supplements as well. But you are mixing ingredients. Like, I'm from what I understand, when the egg comes out of the chicken, they pack it and go,
Which
right?
one comes first, chicken or the egg?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that's been a debate for centuries at this point. But so with that being said, like, it's not like you can um get a needle and inject something into the egg, and you're not supposed to do that. Like, the egg is, again, comes out of the chicken and goes into the carton and it goes to the store. So how do you contaminate an egg unless the person that was preparing his meals was adding something?
Hmm.
Because we're not asking, like, okay, well, did you boil, or again, 200-page document?
That's a lot of papers.
Was it a boiled sealed egg,
Was
hard
it
boiled
was it was
egg?
it was it scrambled?
Was it scrambled?
Was
Was it
it
with
over
other stuff?
easy?
How do you know? Like,
Over
if it
medium?
was,
Over hard?
yeah, if it was in a scramble with other vegetables, how did you know it wasn't the vegetables, and you were literally looking at,
Unless you're eating eggs and just eggs for like months,
yeah.
there shouldn't be anything else, because there's so many variables and varieties that could be contaminated through, like you said, it could be the vegetables, it could be the oil, it could be whatever it may be, right? It could be anything that has to do with the preparation of the food.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know, because no one's ever said anything. I mean, we don't have access to the documentation, so we can't even say, okay, now that's BS. And considering that it wasn't given to, what I would have loved to see is um that 200-page doc sent over to the BBBFC, because then they're gonna, it's not just, it's gonna be some other scientist, nutritionist, whatever, et cetera, that is going to look over the documentation and say, yeah, that's actual legal argument.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is like, to clear somebody without, you know, I mean, again, it doesn't really matter knowing that they're not the organization that put fights together, or that allows fight to come to fruition. You know what I'm saying? Like the organization, So yeah, I mean, that's the first question in the first place, is whether
Stefan said eggs came first.
yes, there you go. Now we know
Rick Tim said he eats egg whites every day and he doesn't have any dirty UAs. I used to eat eggs every day.
Yeah, you used to.
Man. But the reason why we're really talking about this, and does anyone care about it, is in different parts of different kinds of like conversation. So the way that we worded this topic is not just, does anybody want to watch it, It's
Yeah.
more. It's also, does anyone care about the health and the situation of Pacquiao to want to watch this fight? If you guys want to watch this fight, press 1 in the chat. Please press 1 in the chat if you want to watch this fight, because I actually want to see how many people are
interested in this fight.
Because I would think that this fight would be a pay-per-view event. I don't think they would just put it on DAZN.
I mean, it's Pacquiao. Pacquiao is Pacquiao, right?
So I think it'll be pay-per-view.
And there's that question whether he can still perform.
0. I don't care to watch it. Okay, no one's putting 1 in the chat. So
Oh,
okay,
there you
no,
go.
now
But
I
yeah.
got 2 ones.
2 ones.
Interesting. Interesting. 2.
5.
5?
I'm just playing.
I was like, what are you adding now?
People just like, I don't know.
Like, okay, so there's a certain type of Brian Harkin. Hey, Brian, isn't that your Ireland best friend? I think Brian, the guy from Ireland, right?
Yeah. What
hey,
up? What
Undercard
up?
Boxing. So a lot of people want to see Pacquiao because he's Pacquiao. But do we necessarily want to see him against Conor Benn? The reason why I say this is because I feel like the boxing world we're very easy to forget. And I feel like giving Conor Benn a fight with someone as legendary.
Put the poll.
Oh, poll. You know we're new to YouTube, right? So let me try that.
Yeah.
Hold on, you talk while I figure this out.
I mean, first and foremost, Conor Benn, with all the issues that he's been going through, and with the organization that makes the fight happen, the sanction, what is it called? The
commission.
The commission. He won't be able to fight because of that. But that's why I think Hearns is promoter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to get into different places to see if they'll let him fight. They're asking him to see if they can fight wherever they're trying to go. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure if he goes to Mexico, they'll let him fight. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's funny because Canelo is fighting in Mexico. So depends how that works. But the fight in itself, Ben really has to be allowed to fight first and foremost. But with this fight, I mean, people are just kind of like, we don't really care too much about it. Some people do want to watch it because they're Pacquiao fans and they want to see what he can still do, but Ben is a dangerous guy. I mean, we could talk about more of that in how the fight can go and all of that stuff. But first, I think when it really comes down to that, what do people think? I mean, about Ben in the first place?
Asante said using peds for the bedroom is different than peds for boxing.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Sean Clark for the $5 super chat.
Make it rain. Hey. 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 I don't want to see it. Ben doesn't deserve the fight. Pacquiao is coming off a long layoff following a one-sided loss. I'm 100% against it.
There we go. Brian Milan with a 125 peso super chat. It's funny when I see pesos.
I think it would be interesting to know from. Oh wait, that's right. Hey, that's right. I think it would be interesting to know from Pac and ask him what makes him come back to pro.
Yeah. So going back to Sean Clark.
Yeah, let's go back to Sean Clark.
He said he doesn't want to see it. Ben doesn't.
And he doesn't deserve the fight.
That is how I feel.
Yeah, that's a good observation when it really comes down to that, because like he's done this and he's done it numerous times, and he needs to prove himself to go against somebody, the organization that wants you to prove whether you're guilty or not. But you just say fuck it and forget about it, and I'm gonna go a different route.
Hey y'all, we're at 50-50 right now. Half of you wants to watch the fight, half of you don't.
Yeah. So but going back to Sean though.
Votes coming in.
Yeah, but going back to Sean, I think you're right about that. I think that in order for him to really be able to fight or be okay to fight, he really has to prove himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't think he deserves it because he just said, fuck it, whatever, I did it, or I'm not even saying I did it or not did it, but just to say, you know what, I'm gonna go a different route.
Well, there was a conversation today that apparently Conor Benn was on the Pierce Morgan show.
Okay.
And we know how much of an asshole Pierce Morgan can
Yeah.
be. He was literally pretty light. Like, he handled him with baby gloves. He did not put him into deep water. He did not ask him for any accountability. And he was like, I don't know, I'm
That's
innocent.
weird.
There was nothing that was like, he's just like, I'm innocent. I'm innocent. Like, so,
Really? Can
and
you prove to me that you're innocent? And how much eggs have you been taking every day?
nothing.
Nothing like that, huh?
Mm-mm.
So go back to Bright too as well.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to know from Pac and ask him what makes him come back to pro to fight, right? That's pretty much what it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about it is he's been thinking about the exhibition for a while.
I mean, Jinky had agreed to exhibition, and I understand like her concern with, he was supposed. Okay, so the path of what was supposed to happen in the perfect world for the Pacquiaos was Pacquiao retires,
Yeah.
and they go into Malacanang, which
Yeah.
is Philippine White
the
House,
White House
in case you
in the
guys don't know,
Philippines, kind
and he
of, yeah.
becomes the president. And when he's installed as the president, there really is no way that he's really going to go back into boxing.
Right.
But because he had lost the presidency and he doesn't have a Senate seat, at this time it's like, idle hands are the devil's playground. Like, he's like, what do I do? What do I do?
Right. What I do.
And then so,
Right.
Here comes the exhibition, which Jinky had said on the interview. I don't know if it was before or after the
Oh, that's what
exhibition.
he said. That's what it means. I'm just like squirrel. BBB OC Hassan. Just but go ahead. Go ahead. Well, I'll come back to that because I'm like,
I don't remember what I was talking
light
about.
bulbs, light bulbs.
Oh
No,
my
because
God.
of the empty nest of Pacquiao that made him realize that, you know what, I want to do something different in my life.
I don't think it was empty. I think he was just bored. And so again, with the Korean one, the Korean YouTube match, Jinky had said either before or after that she was totally fine with the exhibitions.
But not fights.
Well, because it's safe, right? Like you're I mean, assumingly safe.
Yeah.
You're fighting against YouTubers. You might be fighting against an MMA fighter, but we also know that a lot of MMA fighters don't have, especially if you take a jiu-jitsu fighter and not someone who is has stand-up game. But even a Muay Thai fighter punches different than an actual boxer. So safe. But then here comes this thing, and we're literally giving this fool, I'm going to call Conor Benn a fool, okay? I don't care. A payday for being a cheat and not being held accountable. He hasn't taken a suspension. He hasn't taken, he has to sit out for 6 months or a year or anything like that. And what, instead of going back to the BBBFC, which you can explain in a second, and fighting his case, they're going to go hop, skip, and jump around the world and say, well, since you don't allow me to do this, I'm going to go over here.
In the word of Chris Eubank, I'd rather be gay than a cheat.
Again, that was a weird one. Okay, so what does BBBFC mean? Since you literally have
Yes.
Okay, what?
Go back up. So,
This one?
yeah,
Okay.
Hassan has said the British Board of Control. See, the British Boxing Board,
of
BBB.
I was close. I said British Boxing Board. No, British Board of Boxing Control. Remember, that's how I switched out the B's. But I was close. I had the same.
Yeah,
just
so
in
that's
the wrong
that.
order.
Yes.
Wait, what did he say though? I can't see it.
The British Boxing Board of Control has its issue, but it's standing by the decision to withhold Ben's license, so they think it's worth it.
I mean, if I was,
Well, I have to say that in like English
okay,
accent.
say
The British Boxing Board of Control has its issues, but it's standing by the decision to withhold Ben's license, so they think it's worth it. I butchered that one. So sorry, I butchered that one. Yeah, I know that was horrible. That was horrible.
But here's the thing, like, so at the end of the day, like, I'm going to keep saying this, is that like you are in trouble with one commission, and because you're like, well, like it's like divorced parents, but there's 20,000 divorced parents, like different countries, different commissions, right? It's like, well, if you're not going to let me go, I'm going to go over here and live with mommy.
Go ahead.
Just basically that Yeah, well, but my point is that instead of like fixing the problem and finding a solution,
Yeah.
taking your licks, you're
Right.
gonna go over this way, you know?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Rise Podcast. It's still morning, bro. Oh no.
Oh no, they're at the East Coast. Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Swift718, what's up? Where have you been?
Yeah, dude. What's up, brother? How you doing,
I
man?
hope John Boy's okay.
Yeah, I know. I hope he's okay because I know he got into
Yeah,
that kind of stuff, man.
the
That's
car
crazy. So
accident. Rachel's face as Nonito said that. I wonder what you said. So anyway,
no, anyways, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do all the time.
You know, like Pacquiao, here's the thing. Pacquiao's gonna do what he wants to do, right? Like if he wants to come back, he's gonna come back. That's literally a fighter's aid. It's gonna have to be between him and
you know
JP.
what's crazy, because I talked with Nate and Nate Campbell and Polly when I went to Philly, and the thing that they were saying is just, it's really difficult to be not fighting when you've been doing it all your life. You know, it's
Jamal Herring when he was on the on In the Ring with Christine.
Yeah.
He even said that as a commentator, he's like, man, I couldn't do this. I'm gonna go to the gym on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in some sparring rounds.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
because the thing about it is like, so sometimes when I couldn't fight or you know I'm off and I'm watching the fight, right, and it's a great fight,
Yeah,
you
then
just
you
want to
start
go back and start shadow boxing. You know, I just want to go back in the gym. So imagine these guys haven't been in the ring for a long time. They just get this itch on their hands and they just want to fight. You know.
Yeah, again, I don't mind that. I don't mind Pacquiao coming back. I'm just saying, why are we giving this idiot a payday? Why
Right.
Conor Benn?
That's
Pick someone else.
Who was it that said that he just doesn't deserve that?
Exactly. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
Kuya, who is that? Kuya Stephen is saying, why Pac is coming back? Is it because of the love of boxing or money? If Pac chose the later, that's sad. What happened to the 400 plus millions that he earned? His son is fighting already. Enjoy life. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. That's why I think people are asking, like, why don't we ask him? Because right now, we're only hearing it from a mouthpiece, right? I'm not even going to say his name. We're only hearing it from a mouthpiece. We're not hearing it from Pacquiao himself. So, you know, again, at the end of the day, if it is or if it's not about boxing or money, like, it's going to be his decision. I just don't like the opponent.
Well, again, when it comes down to it, yeah, it's definitely his decision. And I think because part of him as a fighter, you know, it's hard. And even you'll see it from a lot of retired fighters that keeps coming back and forth in and out of the sport again, because it's really difficult for them to find something beyond boxing.
Yeah.
You
okay,
know?
so we are at 69% said no.
Oh.
I'm not going to watch it. And
Wow.
31% said yes. So keep voting. If you have not voted, I want to know if you guys are going to watch this, because again, I'm assuming this is going to be pay-per-view.
But I think I agree with you 100% with that. I mean, you got to be deserving of being able to fight. But what he has done does not give him credibility to be back in the ring or to be supported by anybody.
This is a good question.
Can sparring help satisfy that fighting itch? You know what? That could be doing it too, but there has to be a competition as well, like a level of winning, you know, a level of because I mean that physically will give him that kind of feel of being in there and getting that little itch to fight. But the feeling that you get going into the ring is just so much different.
Well, there's the crowd, there's the
crowd, and then
screens,
the competition of winning and losing, you know, and all of that stuff. But of course, at the same time, you do get paid big money too. At the same time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of that has to be into it, but you gotta kind of find a way to suffice those alternatives of winning and boxing and going in the ring and all of that stuff and making money.
Yeah.
You know, and to put that all together in different things is very, very difficult, because boxing, when it really comes down to it, it's a shortcut to getting money if you're on top of there already. You know, the thing about it is like I think Angel Garcia was saying to Danny Garcia, his dad was saying, you know, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting because you built all your time being here. You're making money now. Why would you stop? You know, and he was just saying that just keep fighting. You know, because you're already here.
Well, what was it? Yeah, Jay Miller said that you don't have fans in sparring. That's completely true. But in addition,
You don't have what?
fans. I mean, I guess you can have fans in sparring. Be weird.
Just have people. I mean, with Pacquiao, he has like 100 people in the gym all the time. So he does have fans.
That's mostly his family.
Yeah.
He has
No,
a
he has
family.
a lot of people. No, he has a lot of people, and he
No,
plays all
but,
of them.
I mean, if you think about it, like there's Jinky, twin sister.
I know,
older sister,
but like the other people, the fans and the friends and the friends and friends and friends.
their family. That's at least 50 people. Just their family
Yeah.
is at least 50.
That's
I'm
true.
saying.
That's true.
Yeah. Sean Clark with the super chat and making it rain.
Hey, 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 Sean Clark. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Jinky opened the floodgate by saying exhibitions are okay. That's like offering a recovering addict one hit of their vice. She knows this is his passion. That makes a lot of sense, man. You're making a lot of good sense today, man. You know?
Only today?
No. I'm just saying, like all the things that he's saying
That
is
he's
making
super
sense.
chatting,
Like
yeah.
earlier, I think that Ben doesn't deserve it. Now this one, I think she definitely did because you know it's like an alcoholic, man. You put a beer or something like that, they're gonna try to take it because it's hard for them to control it.
Well, they're like it's only one.
But it's only one. It's just a tip.
Just the tip.
Just a tip, baby. Just a tip. I promise. No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, and you're totally right about this. Is because when you are saying, you know what, I'm good. I'm backing up a little bit, and then all of a sudden, he gets that adrenaline, that feeling, you know,
Yeah.
and then it's like, man, you know what, I still got it.
Yeah.
You know what, I want to go fight Crawford, Spence. You know what? Let's go with Conor Benn. You know what I mean?
I don't know how you go from Crawford and Spence to Conor Benn. Again,
It's just
not
an option. That's
it.
Hey! Sean Clark with the $2 super chat. Salute to Jinky though. She clearly loves the man.
I think she really does. And I mean the fact that she's, you know,
I mean, there was things that's happening now that you know what I'm saying? What was going on with them? No, never mind. That was in the news.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Either way, you
Yeah.
know, like at the end of the day, and this is something that people have said like, wait, do I want to go down this route or do I want to bring this up later? Let's just bring that up later.
What is it?
Okay, well fine, we'll bring it up now.
Bring it up. Bring it up, you know?
The thing is that fans you know, they have a different perspective when it comes to watching. They're like, oh well, you know, it's just Conor Benn. Pacquiao can floor him. Not a big opposition. Which is weird because if you're trying to sell the fight, why would you say that, right? You're like, okay, well, if you're just gonna walk him over, then this literally is just for entertainment. It's not an actual fight. But the second part of that is what if, right? Like, first of all, we are putting him in with someone who already already failed a drug test. So
more than once, right?
More than once.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, it's in the same camp. It was two, but anyway, either way, it was, yeah. That being said, first of all, Pacquiao is, you know, he's coming in, and he's gonna most likely not have VADA testing for this because I'm pretty sure Eddie Hearn hates VADA right now because he killed that show of Conor Benn and Chris Eubanks. Okay, so that's one. Number two, Ben is a younger, hungry fighter that's going to want to prove something to the world.
Yeah.
Is he a carpet on the floor? Is he a dead animal? No, he's not. He's a young and hungry one, and that makes him dangerous. Okay, let's see. Super chat.
Hey, here we go.
Swift 718.
Swift 718. Good to have you back, brother. Good to see you, man. Conor needs to go on a public service quest for repentance, showing regret. deliberate action condemning banned substance before we embrace him.
Agreed. And that's what I was saying. That I was confused about the Pierce Morgan interview because there was no repentance.
Yeah,
there was
he wasn't sorry about it. He's like, I didn't do it. I'm innocent. But I'm moving on to a different thing. Yeah, I think that in order for people to really get that respect back after popping, not just once, like a few times or stuff like that. I mean, you really got to show up like, I'm clean. I am not, I want to keep boxing. I want to represent boxing and I want to prove to the people that I'm a clean fighter. And here it is. But he's like, I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why people can't respect him, because it's like, dude, you did it. You did it. Even though there's no, even though that he tested this but he's not proving himself, people are just like, you know what? He did it. He's a cheat.
Yeah. And well, that's what, like Picasso just said, how hungry enough to cheat. And that's the thing, right? Because the risk versus reward.
Hungry enough to eat a lot of eggs.
Again, the risk versus reward for Conor Benn is huge, right? Like he's saying, okay, well, Pacquiao hasn't been fighting. He hasn't been in the gym. My chances now in compared to Pacquiao's peak of his career is supposedly better at this point, right?
Yeah.
In addition, he's going to get a bag. In addition, it's being overlooked that he was a cheat before, and
right.
And so he doesn't even have to face any consequences for that. What else? There's so many upsides to this, that if he already cheated with someone like Chris Eubanks and he has the opportunity to try to topple Manny Pacquiao, what wouldn't he do at this point, right?
Right.
So I mean, I just feel like it's disheartening that I don't feel like
disrespectful to the sport. That's and I'm a big boxing fan and I love boxing. I mean, everything that I have and everything that I am is because of boxing. So I love boxing for all it is. And for somebody to kind of disrespect that and don't give a shit about it, man, it pisses me off.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that again, like I was trying to go down the road was is about health and safety, right? So Pacquiao can cut. I know you're gonna say something funny.
Why did Conor Benn cross the road? Never mind. Go ahead. Never mind.
And this is why I always lose my train of thought, because this fool can never keep his mouth shut when I have this is some joke that wants to take it left. Okay. When we talk about health and I'm not just saying like I'm not saying that Pacquiao can't come back in and do what he does best. What I'm saying is when someone has the edge and advantage of a performance enhancing drug, that makes them that much more dangerous. When are we gonna say, okay, I get it, you're 100% good, Pacquiao, and you're healthy, so you should be able to fight. But to protect Pacquiao, we're still gonna have VADA in place, because if anything happens to Pacquiao in that ring with someone who's already accused and of having a positive drug test that they tried to cover up.
Yeah, and as it is, they test the older figers like
more frequently.
way more frequently.
Yeah,
this is like one of those movies that, or one of those things that happen in life about a killer, and then they go in jail and they release them and then they end up killing them again. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that, right? It's like.
But what I'm saying is, where is the Picasso said I need to write them down. I need to write them down because he likes to go on the left road.
Why did Conor Benn cross to the left road?
So are we going to be outraged? Like right now, I don't feel like there's any outrage. Like they're like, you got
yeah. But that's the fans, though, man. They just want to see fights.
Yeah, but
because
when is it? Like we're talking about Manny Pacquiao,
right?
He's legendary. He's done a lot in his career.
Right.
Will we be guilty? Will we feel guilty
if something happens?
Is the blood going to be on our hands because we're like, it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter that he popped positive. Like we still want to watch the fight. If something happens to that man, are you going to feel guilty? And again, I love it how people go, it's just a boxing match. And
like my father.
yeah, I wasn't gonna say who I was quoting, but literally, I keep forgetting the big dude that we met
What
in
big dude?
WBA.
Which big dude?
The big dude at the WBA, Morrell.
Oh,
Morrell's
he's a big
last
dude. Yeah,
fight
he's a big dude.
in November. He's the only big dude I saw over at the WBA.
I mean, there's a couple guys out there.
No, Bebo was smaller than.
Yeah, Morel's a big dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was nobody else that was bigger than him. Okay.
Right.
So, that being said, Morrell's last fight, which was in November, just that, he put a kid in a coma.
Right. That's how the sports is very, very dangerous, man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's something that they gotta really protect, you know, and like you said, yeah. But let's dance. Let's dance. Hey! $1 trillion dreams 2. Thank you for the $5, brother. I appreciate you. Nonito, you've been in here in there with Inoue. Are you picking them to beat Fulton? Do you have another fight in you? And if so, who would you like to fight? Actually, brother, I will be fighting soon, maybe in May or June, to see well, we already know who I'm fighting. Was it Alejandro Santiago Barrios from Mexico, I think. And they the WBC, because I'm fighting for the vacant WBC.
We'll recap what happened with the movement in case you didn't know.
Yeah, so with the whole WBC with Maloney, I was supposed to be fighting with Maloney because he was number 1, and then I was number 2, and we had a face off in the WBC convention last year. And we were supposed to fight, but then when we were mandated to fight, they went to the WBO route and left me to fight for the vacant, and the WBC picked the guy, Alejandro Santiago Barrios, for me to fight. Now we're only waiting for the date, when and where it will be. So that's all we're waiting for right now, you know, from Richard's call to see when I'll be fighting, either May or June. So yeah, so it's exciting. It's gonna be my 10th belt, and probably gonna beat my record again as the oldest bantamweight champion. So, you know, that's the game plan right now. Hey, we gotta dance on this one too. Are you playing with the ferret? Swift 718, brother. Thank you, man. You know what? Let me do this. See, I can't. Not that I can, but I gotta figure this out. There we go. Bam. There we go. Now it's raining. Now we gotta press the button here. Hey. Okay. See, I'm still dancing. So, Swift 718. Thank you, bro. The $10 super chat. Vada USADA should be mandatory in every fight at the expense of the promoters and athletic commission. It's an expense to run a card, TBH. Commissions and promoters are making bread off these events. Yeah, no, 100%, man. I think that for me, I'm going to go back, and I'm planning to go back to the 365, 24/7 testing, you know, because for me, I've proven that throughout my whole career. And let's stop, make it rain for a minute here. Throughout my whole career. And so I'm going to go back into it because this is my last stretch, and I don't want anybody ever doubting my capability once I become 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 world champion. You know, I don't want anybody to come out. So for the rest of my career, I am planning to do that 365. It's not what?
It's not that. Oh my gosh. See, this is why Nonito doesn't sign his contracts. So it's not going back into 24/7 programming. There's actually a new.
Oh, there's a new one. That's what you were telling me. Okay,
yeah,
I didn't understand that.
There's a new protocol, and I can't talk about it because it's up to them to release that information.
But I'm going back to testing. That's pretty much what it is.
You never left testing, so.
Oh, I've never left testing.
Yeah. So it's just a different level of testing, but again, not going to I don't have the authority to release
But
what VOD is
answer
doing.
this one for me too with
What is the
Swift.
question?
Body USADA should be mandatory in every fight at the expense of the
Mhm.
promoter and athletic commission. It's an expense to run a card, right?
Mhm.
Um, commissions and promoters are making bread off these events.
I agree. I think it's because of the fact that they want to show like they are trying to clean up the sport. It looks pretty, right? But at the same time, they're like, man, this could put the card at risk. And I think that, yeah, I think the promoters should. Some promoters do.
Yeah.
And I feel like the athletic commission should just be in on that expense because it's kind of silly that, like, for example, in California, like we get tested by BOTA and we get tested by the California State Commission. Like it's a double testing.
Right.
Like why?
Right.
So like why don't you guys just put
I mean, there should be like one organization that kind of controls everything and just, you know.
No, if this is how much it costs for the card, especially because what the commission requires is the night of the fight, right?
Yeah.
So instead of commission or the state paying a third party to process their lab results,
Yeah.
why not just say, okay, well, this is our budget for each of the fighters that is supposed to be getting tested anyway.
Right.
We just need the results of the urine because that's all we're testing.
Yeah.
So here's how much we normally pay a third party, and we're going to give it to VADA, but you need to share the results with us.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why double test?
And I think that it's good for the boxing is because it protects the fighters too. You know what I mean? And I think that it should be done. It should be mandatory. It should be mandatory for fighters to constantly be tested, you know, and for testing to be a part of boxing.
Yeah. Hey, guy, who's saying? Oh, okay. I'll time him out. Listen, Roman, if you want to come here and be a troll, any of the trolls that want to say something has to drop $100 super chat for me to even read it. So, so that's the oops, not that one, this one. There we go. So if there's trolls in the chat that want to say something and want me desperately to read it, $100 is the minimum for me to actually read it. So make sure you guys pull all the trolls, put their money together, so at least you can say hi.
Yes.
All right, here we go. So, how much is VADA testing? Now, like, it's different for each level, and that's why I said there's a new level coming out. It's like we unlocked a level.
Yes.
So there's the 24/7 365. The 24/7 365. Then there's another program, another level that's coming out. There's
Deeper,
also
more thing, right? More I guess.
more, yeah.
The next level.
I said we unlocked a level.
Yeah.
And then there's also just the fight camps, right? So for example, if you're not in 24/7 365 and your opponent isn't, but you want to prove that both of you are clean, what they do is, depending on, you know, the two fighters, 16, 12, or 8 weeks out, then that's a different price as well. In addition, of course, the pricing will probably have to include, if they have to go somewhere far, you know, across the globe, or something like that. And then there's the clean boxing program and the WBC, but that doesn't come out of the boxers. That's the WBC has a reserved amount for testing for the top 10 or top 15 of all weight divisions and of both male and female.
There you go.
Yeah. So it really depends, because for them to test us here in Las Vegas in comparison to which
Somewhere
they've
else.
done, they've showed up to freaking Philippines.
Yeah, they've tested me out there.
Yeah. And you know, that's a different expense. And so I would assume that unless they have a partner that is overseas that they trust to take the samples and things like that, then they have to send their collection agents from here all the way across the country, across the world, to
Although they did have
obtain.
their own stuff in when I fought in Japan, they had people in Japan that was working with Bada.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if they have a partner there in
Right,
Japan
right.
already situated,
Yeah.
and it's also possible that if they have a base in Japan, that they could send that
too in Asia,
it's for
everywhere in
Asia
Asia.
instead of
Yeah.
sending them from the US. But again,
Right.
it's just highly dependent.
All in all, I think
every fighter.
fighters should be tested, and promoters should provide for that. You know, at least for the TV fights.
Yeah. Dee's asking how much was Nonito's test. Like, I can't give an actual, like, this is how much the test. I would say that I would say between 20 and 40,000 per year. I'm just going to give you a range because I'm not going to tell you exactly how much it cost. In the beginning of his career, and that was out of pocket. We had sponsorships. We also
This
had
is like
promoters
Price is Right.
helping. Yeah, it's like Price is Right.
$1.
You can't go
$1.
but you can't go over.
Exactly. $1.
1 cent.
To 20,000 and $1.
So what you do is that you cover that through through sponsorships, or you cover that through, or you ask the promoters if they are willing. Like I was saying, most of the promoters, like, they want to do it, but they don't. It's like they shoot themselves in the foot if the freaking fighter tests positive. But nobody should be testing positive. I think that, honestly, remind me, we're going to talk about the penalties.
Remind me to talk about the penalties. So I can
goodness.
remind her to talk about the penalties. Okay,
Oh.
everybody. Hey, hey. Swift718, thank you for the $20 super chat, brother. I appreciate you. I miss you guys. You guys are the best. Make it rain.
We missed you too.
Yeah, man. I was like, where's Swift at? We haven't seen you in like a month or something, you know?
Was it a month? It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. Okay, so to the, what was it called? To the,
what is the reminder? God, I forgot it. Remind me, guys. I said remind me. It's the reminder. Come on, man.
So the punishments for
oh, there you go.
for testing positive.
Yes.
Okay. There freaking is none.
Right. Oh, we're gonna ban you 6 months, but then I fight every 6 months. So.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, usually like the ban is 6 months. But at this point in time, most of the contracts with promoters, if you're an up and comer, yeah, you're fighting like five times a year because you're only doing a 4-rounder, 6-rounder, whatever.
Yeah.
And then as you go up the ranks, and once you become a world champion, that number dramatically drops. It could either go to 3 or 2, and possibly 1 time a year, right? So. Yeah. If you were only fighting twice a year anyway, you were going to take 6 months off.
Right.
If you only fight once a year, you really don't care.
Right.
So that penalty isn't really something that hurts boxers. Yeah. I think it has to be at least a year. Or
every fight, they get deducted 10% every time or something. Or, because I remember
10% ain't nothing.
Okay, 20%.
20%.
Because I remember Zab Judah. Jackie, what's up? Yeah, because I remember Zab Judah. Mm-hmm. I remember Zab Judah saying, man, when they took 10% off of my purse, it hurt. We
need to make it hurt more.
But what I'm saying is it could be 10%, but numerous fights.
Like, so why the hell are we okay with like making deductions for a weight loss limit, right? So, for example, any of like Shakur Stevenson,
yeah,
when he didn't make his weight against Pacquiao,
he got deducted.
There's a financial penalty.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at that, you don't even know if the other opponent is still going to say like, okay, well, yeah, I'll still take the fight. That's still It's in their court. But there is no financial penalty for a set financial penalty for a positive test. Like there should be like a really deep one, and then it also should be that you have to be in a VADA testing program.
Yeah.
And then it should also be that you're also suspended for X amount of.
Yeah, it has to be severe. That's pretty much what it all comes down to. When you're doing all this stuff, it has to be severe enough for you not to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh man, that sucks, right?
I just don't think that it's like, because I've heard that there has been, of course, the suspensions, and there
Mhm.
has been some places where they've actually deducted something from their purse, which hurts. I gotta look it up. But it's not an overall like, listen, if you kill someone, this is what's gonna happen. If
Right.
you test positive, this is what's going to happen on your first offense, second offense, third offense. There really shouldn't be a damn third offense. But if we're going to do it that way, it literally has to be black and white. So you know, you commit this crime, this is your punishment.
Right.
Now, you are going to get the crazy people that are like, oh, it's only a $200 fine for me to park in a handicap zone. Well, I'll take the $200 fine. But you know, I don't think it should be a set, like, let's say $10,000. I think it should be a percentage of the purse, because, you know, in all the cases, if you're going from multi-million-dollar fights versus like even $100,000
Yeah.
fights, a percentage is a percentage.
Yeah. That's huge. And like I said, you know, it has to be severe enough for them to not do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And one offense, two offense, it should be like, man, you know what? Apparently we can't change you. We're banning you. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? It has to be severe enough for people to just be like, man, I can't fuck with this one.
So on the poll, it's 60% no, they don't want this fight. So that's where we are. Now, here's my next question. If not Conor Benn, because again, I do not like Conor Benn, and I think that he should go and serve his time. Who would you agree for Pacquiao to fight? Who would interest you for Pacquiao to fight?
Why don't you
Please
put a
it
poll?
in the chat. Well, because I don't know. Like, I want to, like, what I want him to do is say, like, who, and then I'll nail
Says
it
the
down.
owl.
I'll nail it down to like 2 or 3, and then we'll put in the poll.
Okay.
But right
okay.
now, I don't know who they're going to. He's not going to
Spence,
fight
Bud.
anyway. Pacquiao's about like
Salt Poppy.
147. I think he is. Pacquiao's supposed to fight Conor Benn at 47.
Well,
Wait
Conor Benn
a
is
minute.
47.
Is he?
Yeah, 'cause he's moving up for Eubank at 54, I think. And Eubank came down, remember?
Eubank came down. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there were
Ennis.
That's a good one.
Mayweather.
Mayweather's like, man, I'm making money.
Dude, Bradley's not gonna be able to make 147 again. Okay.
I think his head is 147.
Broner, Kell Brook. Gosh, you guys, how am I gonna do a poll if there's so many different names?
That's funny.
I can't do a poll. There's so many different names. Okay, they said Conor Benn is at 47. Someone
Yeah.
said Haney, Cambosos, Teofimo, and Tank. That's at 140. And 135. Haney's at 135. You guys are crazy. He's not gonna make 135.
Hey. So 718, thank you for the $5 super chat, brother. Peds are more frowned upon and strictly punished in tennis, golf, track, and baseball than in combat sports, where it matters most, where life is at risk. Man, that's make
Very,
a point on that
very
one.
true.
100%, man. That's very true. I mean, they talking about all this other stuff, but then boxing, who is a very dangerous sport. That's very clear.
Maidana, Jake Paul, Sean Porter.
But yeah, man, I didn't know golf. They well, yeah.
Testing. I think, does chess do testing? That's a sport. Is it chess a sport?
It's yes, it's a sport.
I'm serious. Does anyone play chess in here? Do they drug test you? Like no, but I mean, like, what if they, like, you take like super focus pills or something? I don't know.
Limitless pills.
Limitless pills.
Yes, limitless pills.
Morning, Remy.
So
Okay.
yeah, no, but the thing too though is these sports, they're very prominent, right? And they're played by or supported by big powered individuals. And
they're con.
yeah. But I'm saying is like maybe that's why, because in boxing it's just like a wild west kind of
Well,
thing.
we don't have one league.
We don't have one league, and we don't not just one league, but we don't have like a one
governing
body
Exactly.
that kind of puts everything in
That's
place.
what I'm saying. Like with the NFL or the NBA, it's one. It's an overall like league, right?
Yeah.
And then
the test, the test on the chest.
The test on the chest.
You know, no, the chest.
Oh, chest. I thought you were talking about titties.
No, not titties. Chest.
Titties.
Chest.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is because like I think somebody was like they had something on their ass or something like that about like.
Oh yeah, that's what Dee's talking about. Or idiocy is saying chest. They check if you cheat with someone sending you winning moves.
Yeah, and somebody put something in their butt or something like that, and then it triggers.
And they were sending them Morse codes.
Yeah, Morse codes and stuff like move to the left.
William White.
Yeah,
there was I don't know, a championship or something, and they were claiming that he had put like
something on his ass.
Yeah, where and they would basically like, you know, the Morse code, like, so how many times he, I don't know, vibrates or stings him, like that's what they're saying, like the next move should be. So
Yeah.
Brian Milan.
Hey. Brian Milan, fighters caught cheating. Wait. Okay, so Mike Tyson says fighters caught cheating. Hold on, I can't do it.
I don't think you could do it.
Yeah, fighter caught cheating should be jailed. It's attempted murder. Mike Tyson. Said this guy, Mike Tyson. When fighters caught cheating should be jailed. It's attempted murder. Mike Tyson said that.
I think so. I agree.
That's the ferret.
The ferret.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's, you know, like I said, we were just talking about how
it's not a vibrator.
No, but you know, yeah, how boxing is such a dangerous sport.
Yeah.
You know, so people shouldn't be doing all this stuff, because if they do, it's dangerous for the people, and when people do this stuff, they can really be killed. And so I think that people should stop doing all this stuff that just creates all this.
Oh, yeah, pretty good now.
No, I just gotta be in the character. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying it's just like this, and then just go. Yeah, there you go. That's Mike Tyson, baby.
I don't know how you just did that. Okay, we haven't agreed about the top 3 opponents yet, because everybody like literally threw everyone. Maidana, Jake. Okay, let's put, you know, a cap on it and put it only in the 147 division, because I think that's the only division he's not making 140. So let's say who 147, who can make 147, and who would those people be that you would want him to fight? Rashidi Ellis. I said Slim Creeper said Rashidi Ellis. Harkin said Sean Porter and Manny. When said Sean, you know what? That's fought since what's his face? Since Crawford.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like he can make 147.
Yeah, well.
Salt Poppy. How much does Salt Poppy?
Salt Poppy is like 200 pounds.
He's not 200 pounds. Hold on, I'm gonna check on the ferret. I
Yeah.
know what his problem is today.
But people are saying Boots Ennis, you know.
Boots?
Yeah. That's more than one person that said that. I mean, we gotta look at it, right? Pacquiao is just coming back, and is he kind of going an approach of competitive exhibition or a real fight? Because Conor Benn would be a real fight. You know, all these guys like Boots would be a real fight. So, you know, if it's like an exhibition, a competitive exhibition, then it would be Amir Khan would be one of the guys that I would say he would fight, or Sean Porter would be one of them too. Because it'll be one of those things. Ray Beltran, yeah, I mean they used to be sparring partner and stuff like that, but that's the question: is Pacquiao coming in to compete to become world champion, or is he there for just the itch and that challenge and make money at the same time? So that's something that we kind of ask about. Some people said here, D said Pacquiao versus Barrera. They did that already twice, right? Or I don't even remember, but people are gonna say, what about Marquez? Because Pacquiao wants to have that fight, but Marquez doesn't want that fight because he's done and over with it. But if it's an exhibition, will that make him change his views? You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I think that's a fight.
Would that be like, okay, so when we say exhibition, does that mean that they're playing with like, with a headgear and stuff? Because when Arce fought, didn't he fight Chavez?
Yeah.
Didn't they wear headgears?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're gonna put Pacquiao and Marquez, would you put headgears on them?
No.
Why?
Because the thing with thing is just like one of those shows, but it wasn't competitive. Like so, Pacquiao or Mayweather's exhibition and all that stuff, they don't wear headgear.
But he's not fighting a boxer.
So he didn't fight that guy who was a boxer, the Korean guy. He wasn't a boxer, and they didn't wear headgear.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The guys that they're fighting are not boxers. You're saying Manny and freaking Marquez. They're both boxers.
Yeah, and they should fight without the damn headgear. But you're the one that said headgear.
I'm asking, should they fight with headgears? Because
why? Why?
Again,
I don't get it.
Fought Chavez.
I know, but
with a headgear.
But it was just for show, okay? It was just for show.
This is an exhibition, is for show.
Yeah, but blah, 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 blah. Hey. Swift 718. Thank you for the super chat. $2. Is Tank versus Ryan not being on sale yet is a mistake?
No, I think they just like locked down T-Mobile.
Right?
Well, they just announced and then they just locked down T-Mobile. And what happens after they lock down, they finally lock down and it's in contract and blah, 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 blah. Then they start looking at the tickets and they have to work with T-Mobile based on pricing for, okay, we're going to block these seats off. This is this section, this section.
Right.
We're going to do this, and that. So that's
how
going to
many
take.
How many weeks now?
From today?
Yeah.
April
22, right?
April 22.
Yeah.
I will count.
Because usually, see, back in the days, they would do it like 3 or 4 months, right? 4 or 5, right? 4 or 5 months, they would set it all up. But nowadays, it's like, we'll just do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Wow. Only?
Yep.
And they haven't, they just kind of.
I'm going to kill that parrot.
Just barbecue him.
I don't know what he's doing. He's like trying to escape today.
Yeah. Oh, it says 7 weeks, including this week. But on usually
That's
for us
so
fighters,
close.
that's very, very
and
close.
for a super fight, like you have to remember. So April 22nd, what we're looking at, I believe that's somewhere around Easter. Our spring break for our boys is actually next week, so it doesn't affect us. But other people that have to take their kids out for spring break are going to have to figure out and move accordingly. So based on that, it's going. I think it's going to be, if it's anywhere near spring break, you're looking at higher prices to come to Vegas and hotels that are going to be insane. So people, have to plan for those types of situations. And the sooner that they release the tickets, the better. I thought Tank said something about tickets getting released soon, though, on his Twitter. If he didn't delete it. He likes to delete tweets. Like we can't screenshot it.
Right.
But yeah. All right, I'm going to drop the link. And we can. Did we decide yet who we want Pacquiao to fight?
They said Boots. I was saying no. I was saying that, is it an amateur competition, an exhibition, a competitive exhibition, or A
No,
fight
it's
to
a real
become
box.
world champion.
Oh, like what is he doing? Like
Yeah.
what is his purpose?
Yeah, what is his purpose?
Oh, I don't know. No one's talking
Because
about
if it's his purpose, it's just an exhibition thing to earn money and just to get that itch out. You know, I would say all the guys, what's his name? Amir Khan. I'm all doing this.
Dude, when's the last time Amir Khan fought?
Amir Khan, who was with Kell Brooks. Kell Brooks, Porter, all these retired fighters, you know what I mean? So who won? Who 60% was
No, they don't want to see the Conor Benn fight.
yeah, okay.
60%.
Yep.
There we go.
So yeah, man.
Hotels are allowed to raise price up 13% during events and holidays. For sure, I think that's something that Trinidad. Who are you guys talking? Like, you guys be throwing out names, and I'm like, what? Everyone wants to see this fight and be there. It's gonna get sold out in minutes. If you're talking about the Tank Davis one, yes, I agree. Hey, Smoke, what's up? You want to come up?
Get this smoke.
Brian, you got to put on your cam for just a second. I don't. Yeah, just put on your cam for just a second, and then before I bring you up, I will. Yeah, you could turn back your cam off. Brian, I see. I wonder if that's Brian Harkin. I can take a chance. I'll figure it out.
Hey, hey, Dewey Jones Jr. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Blair Cobbs, woo! That's Cobb. That's Blair, woo!
Thanks. I had a feeling it was you. I just want to double check because these trolls be really intense sometimes. How are you, Brian?
I'm good, Rachel. How you doing? Nonito as well.
Great, brother. Great. Thank you for being here.
No worries.
Let me get the super chat before you guys start talking. New country. Super chat.
Hey.
Brian,
Hey. New country, man. Thank you, brother, for the $5 super chat and for being here, man. Can't jump on, unfortunately, working, but let me get a dance shout for my birthday today. Hey, glad to see you guys are doing well. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday.
No, but you know, the guys from Ireland, they love to sing and dance.
Right.
Not this guy, but yeah, most guys do.
The Sweet Caroline.
Oh my
boom, boom, boom.
So what's that? Oh wait, there's somebody else in the back. Who is that? Smoke? I had a feeling it was Smoke.
Get the smoke.
Yo,
Hey,
Smoke, how you doing, man?
Smoke, you there? Okay, let's get this other super chat, and then we'll start conversing.
Hey. Swift718, thank you for the $10 super chat, brother. I went to buy Tank versus Ryan ticket on Thursday, but there were none. So instead, I bought tickets, hotel, and flight to Virgil versus Stan Jonas the next week in Texas. Ooh, that's a good fight too, man. That's a good fight.
Yeah. That's a good fight.
Yeah, you know, the thing about it is they just announced Tank and Ryan, and so they're just setting everything up. You know, I think that eventually give it a couple days or even this whole week, and then you'll see it popping out. And I think it's gonna go fast because, you know, it's something that people really want to see. You know what I mean? For boxing, for boxers and boxing fans, Virgil and Stan Jonas is also a good alternative to watch. I mean, I think that's a good fight.
Yeah. No, I actually prefer the Virgil Stan Jonas from a boxing standpoint. You know, two young guys coming into it. You know, for me, I can see how the Tank fight is going to happen in my head.
Yeah,
Tank, Ryan. You know, for me, I'm more interested in Virgil and Stan Jonas because they're two young guys. Virgil's better known than Stan Jonas. Stan Jonas had a very good win. He's coming off good momentum, and for me, it's a good fight.
Right.
You know, I think Ryan Garcia. You know, I expected him to really jump up levels after Luke Campbell.
Yeah.
And he's sort of, you know, plateaued. You know, he's at a level He hasn't really reached above, and for me, this is a big step up fight for him.
Yeah, and I think this fight is a boxing fight, but
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of entertainment that goes around it. Like it's
yeah,
entertaining the thought. But
yeah,
yeah, like you said, the Stanionis fight, Virgil Ortiz, is an elimination of who in the hierarchy of the welterweights. You got Boots
yeah,
in there. So it just takes away it just eliminates the other people to see everybody who is the best in the division.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I'd love the winner of that fight to either get Bud Crawford or Earl Spence Jr.
Right.
If that fight ain't
They're
going to
fighting
happen,
for WBA, right?
Mm,
Stanionis and Ortiz.
yes.
Yeah, so they're fighting
They
for the
won the
WBA.
yeah, Golden Boy won the
Right. I remember we were there at the WBA convention. That's right.
yeah. So
Hey everybody. Sorry about that. It took me a minute to get my I got these new AirPods and I was like talking to you guys. But anyway.
yeah, no worries, no problem, no
Guys,
worries.
what's up, Brian? What's up, Donita? What's up, Rich? How you guys doing?
What's up, brother? How
I
you
haven't talked to
doing?
you for a minute.
Yeah. I've been actually just in the boxing streets, but talking about a whole bunch of stuff. I did a live that was kind of talking about what you guys were going through like last couple of weeks, but not
Oh yeah.
really. Yeah, it is. When boxing's a family business, and it's hectic, especially like the cost of being great on the support team, and it's the family business. Man, it's a bunch. But
Yep.
anyway, it's good to see you guys. It's good to be
Yeah,
here.
you too, bro.
Yeah. So for me, to pick up what you guys are saying, like I think the left hook to the liver is kind of an interesting shot that we'll maybe see. Probably not, but maybe we'll see the overhand right hook from Tank and knock him out. When it comes to Virgil and Stanionis, like Stanionis just gets hit too much. I think he's open to the body. He's really like Virgil is a guy who is a close range dude. Stanionis likes to keep it long. I don't think he'll be able to keep Virgil off of him. And he's just going to get tore up to the body. That's what I think. I mean, I think it'll be more. I don't know. A six in one hand, half a dozen in the other is two good fights. But to me, there's not really a lot of intrigue on who's going to win either one. I don't. I think Stanionis is behind it, and I think Ryan is behind it too.
Yeah.
Well, by behind it, I mean the eight ball.
Yeah. No, I think I mean like we've talked about like Tank and Ryan a couple times. We haven't done film study yet where we'll really show like probably the week of we'll show like clips of like a certain fight, right? And break it down as far as like what Tank's strengths are and how he can expose Ryan and vice versa. And we'll do the same for Stan. When is the Stan? That's when is that? I don't even know when that one is. Like I know, like right now, I know that there's the Tim Zoo and Harrison this weekend, and then I
Yeah.
think the following week is it the following week is the freaking Benavides plant?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to get you guys' thoughts on Stephen Fulton and Nonito. I mean, not Nonito, but
No way.
and
I
and
know we
Inoue.
all look
Now
like
that you guys are now the fight's been official, I would love to hear the holes that you've seen in Monster's game plan or his game that you think Stephen Fulton could exploit.
I mean, there's a lot of things that can be exploited in his style. Like any other powerful, strong power puncher, there's a delay in their offense after in their defense after offense. So those times is when you can truly maximize damage because of that delay, because they're trying to tee off, and when it's they don't pull back their punches. So what
yeah,
that means is it's easy to get them in between. But I mean that's I don't know. uh I have to really study Fulton's approach in how he fights and how he can um better or take advantage of Inoue's style.
Yeah, because the thing with Bolton, the one thing I didn't like was the one with the, of course, the Figueroa fight where he was pushed up against the ropes. Of course, Figueroa is a lot bigger, taller fighter that likes to completely have pressure throughout from 1 through 12.
Right.
Yeah, he's a bruiser. Yeah, he's a bruiser
Yeah,
for sure.
The Bruiser, yeah, good way of putting it.
that's not Inoue. Inoue is not going to be leaning on him with this like
Right.
large size
Yeah.
on Fulton. I
Yeah.
just didn't like it that he was in that position. And if you get in said position with Inoue, that's where he's going to want to try to just tee off. Right.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like Inui tries to be very precise with his punches. He picks his punches, and maybe in that, maybe if you can make him miss and second guess himself, you know, in between him thinking about it, maybe you can get off first and move, and because for me, Inui's he's just very precise, right? Everything is precision with him, so in set times, so
Yeah.
maybe that's something Fulton can really take advantage of if he can make a miss early, and make him, should I punch here? And when he's thinking about it, get in first and get out,
Right. Well, the thing is to interrupt their pattern and all of that stuff, his
Yeah.
pattern, because he has to be sure because he's wanting to be precise and accurate, that he wants to be sure. And so feint will work definitely. Jabs will work a lot.
Yeah.
And countering. That's something that I did in the first fight was counter and use the jab, and and made him think twice, right?
Yeah.
So if Fulton can do that, it will. I mean, Fulton is going to be the bigger guy going into this fight, but anybody who has power in 4 pounds is not that big of a big jump, So
Yeah.
when I was at 18, I went to 22. I still had my power, so I'm pretty sure that he's going to carry his power over as well. But he does have shorter arms, so if you smother those punches, they won't have a lot of power.
Yeah, that's fair, I think old school boxing, like the old tricks, I think maybe enclosed hold grab, lean a little bit of weight on him, but don't give him time to set, for me would be the main one,
Yeah.
because he is a very precise boxer. I like Inoue, I think he's a great boxer, so, and I like Fulton. I think he's not great at anything in particular, but he's good at everything. If you know what I mean, he's just
Yeah.
very
And that's
consistent.
the thing for me right there. I think he can make Monster fight the fight he doesn't want to fight, but but Stephen Fulton's like,
You're breaking up, Smoke.
We lost your Smoke. We lost
AirPod. I think it's the AirPods. Right, and then again.
Are you sure they're the AirPods?
Not cheap
Where did you
knockoffs,
get 'em,
eh?
Smoke? Where did you get them, man? Yeah, no, I think that there's for every fighter, there's always the flaws of getting countered, and they have their stuff, like
Yeah.
again with powerful punchers, they tend to push through their powers, and therefore their defense it has a lag on their defense, and so a lot of times catch and shoot, parry and shoot, all this stuff would work with fighters who pushes a lot of power,
Yeah.
But a lot of times people are not willing to punch with a puncher, and that's their biggest mistake is they're not willing to do it, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, like it happened to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I was boxing, that's something I learned very quickly. If you're not willing to take it, you're going to get beat. You're going to get your ass beat.
Right.
Because I was a lot smaller than a lot of the guys I was fighting. Heavyweight, like height wise, I was a lot smaller.
Yeah.
So
you're small heavyweight, huh?
I did. Yeah, I did learn to take it very quickly. And get in, try to get my punches off. And and I felt that with power punches, I felt like I could counter them in between shots or right
Yeah.
after, they shoot, So,
Yeah.
because
And
they're
the thing
loading up.
too,
Some
the
guys
thing
like to
about
load them up,
fighting, the thing about fighting is, it's easier to, if they're pushing a lot of the whatchamacallit. Oh, I got somebody in here. Lil Rick, what's up, brother?
What's up? What's up with it? Rage, don't no Nito,
Yeah,
chat,
and Brian
panel.
here with us as well. But yeah, no, when you look at into the power shots, there is that delay before an offense and defense goes through, and you get a fighter who's fast. The lack of commitment to the punches is what is it's lacking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. On their toes and not going forward when they're throwing, or they're not really putting their full power. It's more in and out.
Yeah.
Getting yeah. So absolutely, 100%. But for me, that's a good fight. You know,
Yeah.
you know.
100%, man.
I do like it. And I gotta congratulate Inoue for taking it, because he is moving up, and not only is he moving up, but he's probably fighting the best 122 pounder
Yeah.
in the world right now. So you do got to give him credit for that. There, he's not stepping up and fighting a contender, or
Right. No,
you know,
that's good. That's good. I mean, he's very confident, and that's good. So
yeah,
he's following the footstep like I did. I just fight everybody when I moved up. You know what I mean?
100%, man, 100.
Yeah, I give it. I give both guys a bunch of props for this one. It's not like it's a unification. It's not like Stephen Fulton is going to Japan to get Monster's belt. He's taking his 2 belts down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Lil Rick, are you working out? Because the last time you was working out, bro.
Hey, yeah, you already know, man. I tune in and stay busy. Hey, Nonito,
Yeah.
I got
That's
2
cool, bro.
questions for you. Two
Yes,
questions
sir.
for you. And what's up, Smoke and everybody else in the panel?
What's up, man?
Ryan Garcia. 2 questions about Ryan. Do you think it was wise for him not to take a tune-up before this big clash with Tank?
I think it was wise for him because the tune-up might see his flaws, and that might be right now. You kind of see how he fights and all of that stuff, but if he fought somebody like Gesta that they were trying to fight with, scheduled to fight, that dude can fight too, and it might show some flaws that Tank can uncover.
Exploit.
Yeah.
Yes, I think his last 2 fights were developmental fights specifically for Tank. You had To Go, who had all the lateral movement, and we saw that Ryan can't really cut off the ring. And then we had Fortuna, who was a lefty, but didn't have the same lateral movement, so it was just all straight lines. So Ryan could basically figure out that whole lead hand and foot thing. I think both of those fights were like his tune-up fights for this fight.
Yeah. So he had some experience already, fighting southpaws and similar things that Tank can do for him. So I think that he made that choice and just kind of focus on Tank, and that's how it's got to be, because I think that the more that he shows himself in, because right now, he's just kind of like, you know what, maybe he does this, he does that. But then the more that you show yourself in there, the more that Tank is easier for him to figure you out.
Yeah. For me, right, it's 2 power punchers, but one guy has more strength to his bow. And for me, that's Tank. I think he's better defensively, right? He's good at getting low. Tank will let you win rounds, right? But he's very good at leading you into a false sense of security. And then, just when you think you're comfortable, he's very good at springing on you, And he's also nasty. I think Tank's got that nastiness to him. He's,
Yeah.
It's the angle.
Fight, man. You
Yeah.
know, he's just coming forward and he's blocking your shots. He's getting underneath your shot. He's slipping your
Yeah.
shot. And you feel vulnerable knowing that this guy, when he gets in there, he has this incredible power, you know? So that's the thing is I feel that if Ryan can sustain a distance for throughout the whole fight, you know, I'll give Tank a difficult fight. But
Okay.
but it's a matter of time before Tank breaks him down mentally. That's what
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Yeah,
think.
Oh,
I think
wow.
it's all. I think it's the feet. Like Ryan just can't fight on angles. He can't cut off the ring. He needs a guy to be standing right there.
Yeah.
And I mean, because this thing is the left hook, and it's like, you know, and it's the, you know, you have the southpaw thing. He can maybe get off that liver shot that he's known for, but I mean, is Tank going to be there? And how much time is Tank just going to spend, you know, doing lead foot positioning kind of stuff and like you know, trying to defending shit with the lead hand? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Can Tank also or Ryan, right? Can he stay disciplined for 12 rounds?
That's the
If
question.
things, yeah,
Exactly.
if things are
That's
going
my
not
next
going his
question,
way,
y'all.
yeah, you know
See,
that,
that's my next question.
yeah,
Nonito, you just said mentally,
yeah,
and Buddy just mentioned, can Ryan sustain any type of calmness for 12 rounds? So my next question for everyone is Ryan mentally ready for this moment, for this stage? I mean, Tank last what 5, 6 fights have all been big mass events. I mean, sellout
Yeah.
crowds. I mean, a shitload of publicity. Is
Yeah.
Will Ryan be overwhelmed in this big event? Nonito Smoke.
That's the question, right? That's the question because a few fights ago or a year or two ago when he said he had that mental breakdown, the mental issues and stuff like
yeah,
that, that can surface if you haven't really gotten, you know, within
over,
yourselves.
yeah,
Because when it gets tough, man, the funny thing about it is you're not only fighting the guy in front of you, but you're fighting yourself, you know.
yeah,
And when you're fighting yourself is more difficult than anything else because you're telling your mind, your body's gonna tell you, man, just give up,
yeah,
man. You know what? It hurts, or man, this and this and that. You know, so I think that that's something that needs to be seen whether he is capable to be at this level or not. And this is the fight that will tell us and will show us whether he has the capacity and the ability to be in the top level, this elite level, this championship level.
yeah. That's up to Ryan at the end of the day. We don't know if he's fought his demons yet. So
Yes.
so that's up to Ryan. But I'm thinking if he felt pressure fighting with Campbell, and after the Campbell fight, and how much pressure was on him, fighting Tank Davis in a big event like this, that's so much pressure. So, but it's up to him if he's fought his demons or not, if he's, recognized them and gotten over,
Right.
But he might be fine now, but maybe when it gets closer to the fight, maybe some of those demons will come back,
And
so
that's 100% true, Brian. That is 100% true when it comes down to that, because people will, when it comes down to pressure, the thing about the mind is it becomes in the mind of flight or flight. And when you're in that survival mode, all of your demons will come out. All that negativity will come out. And so does he have the capacity to push them away, or accept them and be okay with them?
Okay, hold on. I gotta do this real quick.
Hey, we're making it rain, baby. See, little Rick's doing it too, baby. Yeah.
Swift718, thank you for the $40 cash app. Thanks, guys, for being great guys. This is Swift718. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Sorry you didn't get it to it sooner. I was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah, no,
Anyway,
thank you,
go
brother. I
ahead.
appreciate you, man. Did he have a question in there or nothing? Nothing?
Just thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother.
Hey, let me get back to
Yeah.
my workout, y'all. I get back with y'all. I'll see y'all in the chat, man. Let me get
All
back
right,
on.
brother. Appreciate you,
Peace,
man.
y'all.
See you later,
Peace.
Rick, man. Peace.
Yeah. So, like you said, Brian, every
All right, Rick.
demon that we have will surface, regardless if we've gotten rid of them, will surface when time is rough, when
Yeah.
time and your nerve is running, when your mind is racing, all your demons will talk to you. All the fears will talk to you. All that stuff, will be there, and you will be surrounded by it. Now, can he push them out? Is he okay with all of that stuff?
You're talking about Ryan?
With Ryan,
Yeah.
because back in a few years ago or a year or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
when he had that mental issue, mental health stuff,
Yeah.
he was facing his demons, and all
Yeah.
of that will come and surface when time gets rough.
I do need to throw a left angle on this. Supposedly Tank and Ryan are doing beta testing for this fight too.
Okay, so there you go. They're
Okay,
doing body testing.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm always an advocate for fighters, getting tested, right? My thing is, I want to ask you a question personally. I know you, right? But how many fighters really want to get tested? Because
Not,
like,
I don't think a lot of people are really into testing, though.
yeah,
I
no,
think it's because of the amount. Like you have to remember, VADA stands for voluntary
Yeah, yeah, but
doping agency.
yeah, I understand that, but
Mhm.
the fighters really want to go out there and do testing and all that stuff.
It depends on the person's like integrity and the legacy that they want to leave behind. I think when people haven't gotten tested before, there was always like a cloud of question, right? And,
yeah, why?
and
Yeah,
I think it stems to invest in your legacy by being in a drug testing program to say, hey, this is never a question because I've always been like in drug testing. There was not a point that I wasn't, even off camp I wasn't. So I mean that literally lands on the hands of fighters if that's something that they never want, question. And the thing is whenever you blow out a fighter, right? They question that. They go, "Whoa, where did that come from? How did he get so strong?" And then now there's these weird, rumors and questions that come about. So I think the best way to combat that is be proactive on how your career looks.
Sometimes fighters, their main focus is making the money, um, the eyes, the being famous and all of that stuff. So a lot of that just shoots over their head because no one thinks about legacies.
Not now. I mean, there's a
no,
lot of
yeah. I talk about that.
I have a kind of question, a little bit behind the curtain stuff. I've heard it repeated that it's not just having testing, but it's the extensivity and like the sort of the regularity of the protocol. Like, so if you put in, it's a different kind of experience if you're spending 20,000 on testing versus 200,000 on testing. Is there any sort of truth to that kind of thing? Is it just like kind of a standard thing? There's enough testing. Is that like sort of an old trope, or is that still sort of the case?
So if you're talking about okay, so like we said before, there's a difference in like fight testing, and then there's a difference in like 24/7 testing, right? The idea behind the 365 is that there are people that because they're not getting tested, they don't have a fight announced. There's no drug agency that's just going to show up at your doorstep, right? And you could scientifically, if you are using steroids outside of camp and then get off of it before the drug testing starts, you're still benefiting from the steroids that you were building in your system before testing started.
Yeah.
So that being said, the more frequent testing is, of course,
They're less likely you'll be able to hide something.
correct. But 200,000 for testing is, I believe, is excessive because you're literally with the amount of testing for just one fighter. I'm saying if one fighter paid 200,000 for testing and that meant that that money, that 200,000, was earmarked specifically for just that fighter for testing for 365 days a year. Dude, VADA might be at your door every other day.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Yeah.
got a
it's
phone call, guys. Phone call.
okay.
All right, Brian.
All right, BH.
All right, let's hit this super chat.
Hey. Hey.
Oh,
Suntok Pilipinas. Thank you.
Out.
Yeah, I know. Hi, waiting to see you in undisputed games. So
He has to get himself
I gotta get
scanned before
I gotta
you
get
see him.
scanned first, man. They've been telling me to get scanned, but I haven't been able to go to California because it's been snowing in California.
Hey,
It's been raining. Not
Is it-
where I am, but yeah,
you know, it doesn't.
I
You
have
haven't
heard
seen
twice.
snow
It was
there?
snowing in Berkeley though. It was snowing in
That's
Berkeley, right next,
crazy to me,
next door.
man. Of all the years I've been in the Bay Area, I've never seen snow.
Wow.
I've seen the
Hail.
no, I didn't even see hail. But back in the days, the grass would be kind of frozen when I walk early in the morning.
Oh
to
yeah,
go to
yeah, yeah.
school.
The frozen grass we get, but even that sucks. That's cold in the Bay. Damn, that's a bad day in the Bay.
Yeah,
But yeah, I like when I was maybe 7 or something. Man, we're living in Palo Alto at the time, and it snowed. No, I wasn't even 7. Damn, I'd be like 4 or 5 years old. And yeah, one of the earliest memories kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't. It didn't snow
snow.
here. Yeah, it snowed in Palo Alto, in 76 or something like that.
That's crazy. But now they have snow like crazy everywhere, though, right?
No, no, it was news. Like the fact that it snowed in Berkeley was like that. Like everyone's freaking out. Like they're not, no,
That's insane.
we're not used to snow here now.
World is going crazy, man. Remy said 1976.
What's 1976?
I think that's the where it rained and all, where it snowed.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah,
What?
that's what I feel like. I feel like it was like 76.
That's crazy.
But I was going to ask you just a follow up question on the cycling off kind of thing that you guys were speaking about. Do you think that's one of the reasons why people are only fighting twice a year?
No, I don't think so.
There's
I
a
think
possibility of that for the
No.
bigger the more prominent
no,
fighter.
no.
Not from somebody I know who said it.
No, he's saying that, but then at the same time, like I said, promotional agreements literally say that. Like once you become a world champion, your minimum fights guaranteed is 2.
Yeah.
Right. So it has a lot to do with the promotion. Once you hit those levels and
Those numbers.
yeah.
Why do you think the promotion? Do you think that's sort of a CYA move for the promotion, so they don't have to work so hard to get you more? Is a promotion in on this whole? Does the promotion understand what it takes for a fighter to be a peak condition, optimal fighting condition? Like
No,
wink,
they don't
wink.
get No, I think it's more so the fact that like, they you look at world champion status, most of the time there is a minimum that the promoter will like already put on the board, right? So you signed 3 years ago and they're like, if you ever are in a world championship fight, this is the minimum we'll pay you. And then from there on out, you'll get this minimum per defense and stuff like that. So because you're skyrocketing from something like a 5,000 or 25,000 minimum purse to over 150,000, that being a safe number, that's just a normal world champion that doesn't have that much of a fan following or anything like that. Putting those numbers out too often for the promoter is not something that they want to do. So they still want to abide by the contract. They're happy that you're world champion, but they're not going to really like to want to put you on platforms because they're like, oh God, like, well, we could just do this guy who's only 25,000. Like, so every 6 months, they're like, we have to pay this guy 150 because he's our world champion, and then his opponent. So the expenses go up dramatically when they have a world champion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, literally, it was only Nonito that I have. I mean, besides like way back in the day when they used to fight like 15 times a year, that really pushed like, hey, blew out this opponent, give me another one. Hey, blew out this opponent, won another one, and we pushed
And
Top
another
Rank
one
to give him 4 fights.
Yeah.
In 1 year, and it was unheard of.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's down there. Hold on. Doop. Oh, Brian's back. Okay, there we go.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, so that's literally that is it's basic in most of the boxing contracts.
Yeah. Nothing. You put him up.
The suits part of the game once again. Do you, in your opinion, do you, for the most part, and this is like totally anecdotal, right? Do you think that fighters would like to fight more, even the champions?
I don't know.
I do.
He does, but it's so
I do.
different because
But
like
if you're looking at the fighters and stuff like that, I mean, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
I honestly think that there's a certain mentality that of people that really wants to stay in the gym and fight. I think that a lot of the world champions do become complacent after they grab that belt, and the less times they have to defend it, the less risk they have of getting it taken away from them. That being said, it is more comfortable for them to grab the title, defend it, and go on a 4-month vacation and come back for an 8-week camp.
Yeah.
You know,
because I
they're
mean,
sitting on the fruits of their loin, rightfully so.
yeah.
But I
a
mean,
lot of people, it's like a cycle for them. Like they'll fight, they get money, they'll spend, they'll train, they'll fight.
they'll gain 60
Yeah.
pounds.
So, for me, I'm like, I love training. I'm in the gym all the time. And I love to fight. I think the fight is just, I think I'm addicted to the feeling of going into the ring.
Same. Yeah, I was the same.
Yeah.
I know I boxed amateur, but I was the same. I was like, when's my next fight?
Right? But I mean,
So-
nowadays it's different. The mentality of the fighters is they want to fight, they want to rest, they want to have fun, they want to party, and then they go back into the same cycle. For me, I was just like, man, let's just go. I mean, I get a party here, and then I'm done. I'm back into it. I got to get back into the gym. I want to get back into the fight. That's how I am. So,
Well,
hey, what's up, BFTV?
Yeah, do you think that? Yo. Sorry.
Oh, by the way, Swift 718. I don't know if you were here, but we read your thing. We appreciate you, bro. We did a dance for it, but we can do it again. For
tell
Swift.
us if you didn't see us dance.
Yeah.
I'll make Nonito take off his shirt and
It's like no. But yeah, every time a fighter fights, they get a payday. Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing about it is when they get the payday, that's what they work for. And when they work for it, they're gonna party, they're gonna spend, they're gonna have fun, they're gonna drink, they're gonna do all kinds of stuff. Like tomorrow doesn't exist anymore or something like that. And so then they go back into that same cycle, but that's just how it is.
Hey,
Do you think that's because? Sorry.
Sorry, just let me get this one done.
How about?
Hey.
Shout out to William White Oak for the $5 Cash App for always rooting for the Flash and you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, but go ahead, Brian. What were you saying?
No, do you think that culture has become social acceptable now? Not from people around the fighters, but the fans that they only fight once a year or how often. Some fighters fight once 18 months. Do you think that's become socially acceptable now?
It's socially accepted, and it's the generation in itself has changed.
Well, I think it's socially accepted, and I think the funny part is that what they don't understand, or maybe they do understand, is if they're out of sight, they're out of mind. And so what you do see is a lot of talking on Twitter, tagging and saying, "Hey, I want to fight you."
Yeah, I want to fight you.
Or
I want to fight you.
Crap, and all this other stuff. And then, everyone starts rolling with it. They're like, "Hey, on YouTube, this guy said this. On Twitter, he said this, and on Fight Hype, he said this." And then all of a sudden, their name's back involved, yet he hasn't fought for a year.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the generation in itself has changed dramatically. How the mentality works, how the fighting works, how the masculine energy now is just doing it in a different way. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Swift saw it. That's good.
Yeah, so you don't have to take off your shirt
No.
anymore. I'm not taking off my shirt.
I got eggs.
Yeah.
You got to watch
Yeah.
out for those eggs, man.
I'm literally like, so my question is it balut?
Balut is a duck egg that has this little embryo and stuff like that. The
Yes,
Filipino like
I'm
to
going
eat.
to find it so I can.
Oh, come on, don't do that, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're nasty.
Talking about
Rabbit all time.
talking about egg enhancement performance.
Yeah, right.
Well, but the thing is that balut is actually a aphrodisiac.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The best one I heard was Gerald Muller was the you know that one.
Oh,
when he went right.
man, I'm looking at this picture and I'm
There
just
you
like,
go.
Why?
It's a delicacy.
Is that what Conor Benn was eating this whole time?
I think so. Yeah.
What do you think, Brian? Would you eat that?
I would, but I'm crazy. I would. Yeah, that'll probably be a good breakfast. You know, the best one was the Viagra by Gerald, Gerald Miller.
What did he say?
He said he was taking Viagra. That's why. Yeah, that's why he filled all his.
Somebody actually does train with Viagra.
What? Who? Well, you're probably not going to say.
I know who, but yeah. Hey. Swift718, brother, thank you for the $10 super chat. I think today's fighters are as content with making $1 million as they are with 300,000 and care nothing about legacy. So they're satisfied fighting less and not being in the history books. Exactly, 100%. 100%. And everybody here can agree to that. You know, we've been watching boxing for a very long time, and the changes in this fighters now is, I mean, as a quote in itself, right? Belt don't matter.
Yeah.
Right? People were saying belt don't matter. I'm like, okay, you know, it's just different. It's just a different time, different mentality, and 100% with what Swift said, and everybody can say that here.
I'm thinking of belts don't matter. Then what are you fighting for? Like what is your end goal? Is it money? Because I'm thinking if you're a champion, if you're a champion and you're a big name in the sport, you can basically say, well, I want more money to fight this fight, right? If you are a champion, right? So I don't get the mentality, right? I don't understand it.
Oh, trust me, we're the same.
Yeah, I just don't understand it either, man.
Like fight to just fight.
Yeah.
Like I understand if you're fighting to fight just to get ranked, right? Because to get into the belt position, you have to be ranked. That makes sense to me.
Right.
Like, and sometimes you have to climb the ladder, right? If you're number 9, you have to fight number 7 or 6, switch places, then keep moving up. So I get those moves.
Yeah.
But just to fight without any care in the world of if you have a belt or not, like you literally cannot be called a champion. Like I've seen some of these fighters walking around and they're getting called champion. I'm like, dude's never held a belt. I'm like, you can't call him a champion. I'm sorry.
Well.
Unless it's a Twitter or YouTube
no.
champion.
So
that might be a thing now.
What about this? What's his name? Fury, the other Fury.
Tommy?
Yeah, he got a belt, didn't he?
Tommy, oh my! Don't get me started on that. Oh, I couldn't even watch that fight live. I was like, no. I watched highlights, but no, I couldn't watch it live.
Man. Yeah, Tommy has a belt, so But I'm just saying, nowadays it's different, man. It's a different mentality, and it goes with the time. It goes with the era of social media.
What did you guys think of the Maxeo and Figueroa fight?
Oh,
I thought it was a good fight. I thought it was an entertaining fight. Maxaya did good early on, and then he started getting tired.
Yeah, so let's get
What do you think of the scorecard?
I do not agree with the scorecard, Smoke.
Oh my, yeah, right.
No, I gave Maxio like the first 4 or 5. I got to look back and see. I think boxing scene pretty much had the same
Score as you.
scorecard that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had.
yeah. I remember that.
And so I agreed with that because I was like, that's exactly how I saw it. As far as Figueroa, I think he had it in his head that he wanted to show that he actually can box, and so he tried that in the first couple rounds. And I don't think good try, but you literally were living in Magsayo's range, right? That's where he was comfortable, was the outside range and mid range. So probably not the best person to try show your boxing skills off of when that's what the guy like lives off of.
Yeah.
But once he started to impose the style, and in addition, like I said, there was like a teetering of all things. It was like, here's Magsayo, 100% on wind, moving, staying on the range he wants to, with Figueroa trying to figure out and establish his range and trying to box. And then right about 4 to 6 is where now you were seeing Magsayo slow down in punch output and not moving as much, and then starting to get winded. And then it teeter-tottered over to Figueroa, whose constant pressure was winding or taking more of the energy away from Magsayo, in addition to the body punches, in addition that he had to spend 2 hours the night before cutting 0.8 from coming overweight.
Yeah.
It went pretty much how I thought it would.
Yeah, I thought the fight was hard to score. I thought Magsayo probably got the first either 3 of the first 4 rounds, and then made a couple late were like they were just hard rounds to score. But when Magsayo was doing really well, I thought, or at least making it really tough to score, he would just take these knees. And I was like, I wonder about how that might have affected the judges, like while he was just going to these involuntary knees constantly.
Don't forget about the 2 point reductions, 2 ridiculous point reductions too. Like, he wasn't holding that much on the arm. He was doing it the odd time on the blind side of the referee, but it wasn't like constant.
Well,
and
I didn't super agree with the second deduction.
Yes,
I think this is a little excessive. I honestly felt like you're gonna give him another deduction for that arm hold, the way that it was like this. It was in between his bicep and his arm, but you're not gonna give a point deduction for touching the ground numerous times, which in other fights they've warned them once, and then the next time that you touch the ground then you're done, and you get another point deduction. And the thing is that, like I said before, like I literally envisioned Figueroa at that point as a matador, because Magsayo came in head down towards Figueroa's waist, and all he had to do was step to the right, and Magsayo would have landed flat on his face. So it's and I think was if Smoke was talking about it, I think you're right. Like when the judges look at that and you can't press the action, you're literally not staying on your feet. I think that does sway the judges to say, okay, Figueroa is dominating this round. You can't stand.
Yeah.
All of that.
He
always seemed to go down too when he wasn't being punched. I was like, okay, I'm not being punched, so the referee ain't going to call it a knockdown. But I've seen the same things also with gum shields. Somebody drops the gum shield at the mouth on purpose. A couple of times he gives them a point warning, So I did get that, So
yard.
He threw the mouthpiece and stuff like that. Well, usually when you put that mouthpiece, you should only get one. And sometimes some referee are very strict. They're like, you know what, I'm taking a point, because they already warn you from the locker room not to do that. And if it happens accidentally rather than spitting it out, they'll judge accordingly, because they're very strict when it comes down to that.
I just think that ref in the yard fight was honestly making amateurish mistakes. You have 2 mouthpieces. Why did you
that's why you have 2 mouthpieces in the first place, to replace the other one with the other one falls.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go and get it across the ring,
right,
get it back to the corner, rinse it out, and then put it back in his mouth. That's not how it's supposed to go. You're supposed to take out the extra one in your pocket, stick it in his mouth, and continue.
And then what did they say? Put it in your mouth.
They don't know about that Akinelli.
Yeah, you be singing
I'm like, give me the mouthpiece. Put it in your mouth, and your motherfucking mouth.
No,
Yeah, no, but
Just drop style. Anyway, go ahead.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like that whole fight. He got tired and he started holding more, and it was visible. You can really see it happening.
yeah,
And him falling down and all that stuff. And people forget. He did need to lose 0.8 pounds, but the fact is that's the reason why he was winded. I mean, we always see him get winded, but he was more weaker and winded on this fight than anything else. But because he had to try to make weight. But as your job as a fighter,
that is your first job.
That is your very, very first job, is to make weight. That's what you have 2 months, 3 months to do it before that.
Also, I think right when Figueroa sets that pace, and he just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. What you did probably second part of the fight, right? He does set a pace, and it's hard for fighters to keep up with. Especially if you're used to being on the outside and boxing and controlling the pace of the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it was a good fight. I know Figueroa is asking for, Ray Vargas now. What's interesting is what we were talking about, like I said before, now that he has the interim and Ray Vargas didn't vacate, just because you are the interim doesn't mean that you are the mandatory.
Yeah. Hey guys, I got to go, but thank you for having me.
No,
yeah, thanks for being here, Brian. I
Actually,
appreciate you. Have a great one.
We're gonna go to
soon. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. I would love to hear what your thoughts on the mandatory. Sorry, the interim and the mandatory. Just because it just keeps coming up over and over again. The people either call the interim a world champion or think that because you are the interim, you are the mandatory. It's kind of a weird.
No.
Yeah.
Well, as far as from
that's as far as I know from the beginning, the mandatory the interim was always called a world champion, but for some reason they don't call me a 5-division world champion when I have an interim in the 115 because nobody wanted to fight me and all of that stuff.
We couldn't mandate them either.
And we couldn't mandate them to fight me.
Being an interim. So
that was the crazy thing. It was a weird position to be a interim champion because you couldn't be mandated to fight the world champion. They could skip you, and they can have their own mandatory rather than fighting the interim champion. So that doesn't make sense to me because they said, "Hey, you're a world champion," right? So, but then all these guys keep calling me only 4-division world champion when if I am the interim champion at 115. And they're telling me that I'm world champion. Even all these sanctioning guys are telling me that you're a 5-division world champion. But all these guys are not saying that. Other people are not saying that. Journalists are not saying that and all of that stuff. So I don't know, man.
We don't know anymore.
I think it's just waste for me.
The interim and the mandatory position, that's what I was asking him. I was like, well, I mean, if Ray didn't vacate, because that was the whole point, right? They sanctioned it as the interim because they are expecting Ray Vargas to vacate. Well, he didn't vacate. And he's still the world champion. So shouldn't they have changed that into an final eliminator? That way that becomes the mandatory. But as it stands, you see how Figueroa was like, I want the Ray Vargas match, but that's not.
He's not mandated.
Like Ray could decide to defend against
someone. And I think there's a number one. There would be a number one that would be put on the rankings after this fight or after that, and that guy could be mandated rather than Figueroa himself.
I'm gonna look at the.
That's what they're saying. Like it's kind of trippy and screwy when it comes down to that, man. I don't know.
But didn't you say that they got a trainer belt for the interim?
That's what I thought. That's what I saw. His trainer get.
So did his trainer get a trainer belt?
I saw his dad was holding it.
Oh. Well, then.
Possibly. Yeah. So that's the thing is like some people will call me 5-division. Some people don't, right? Some people accept interim champion as world champion. Some people don't, so I don't know. It is, they got to clarify all of that stuff, man. I think that's something that they have to do.
Okay, so it's still, I mean, right now it was updated February 16th, so they're still going to have to update it, but it has, Brandon and Mark 1 and 2, Michael Conlon number 3, Josh Warrington number 4.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. They are very complicated. It's like being in a relationship.
I don't even know how that, like,
your face, though.
I'm gonna put up the picture of freaking Bullet on the screen again. But so we gotta get out of here because he has another.
I gotta go.
Hey, thanks for inviting me up. It's great chopping it up with you guys. Until next time. Peace.
Yeah, thanks again, Smoke. Always, man. Always, thank you for being here and supporting us, man. And everybody out there, thank you guys for all the love, all the support that you have given me. The new faces and the old faces. Thank you for coming out. Always, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. And live life, man, and do your best out there. Enjoy every moment. Live in the moment, and be safe. Be healthy.
Yeah. Until tomorrow, War Wednesday. We will
War
figure out a
Wednesday.
topic. Again, it's a free smoke, kind of panel. Whoever you want to talk about, what you want to talk about. It's War Wednesday tomorrow. But until then, you guys take care.
And thank you for all the donation for everybody out there. Thank you guys, Swift, William, everybody. Brian, Milan, everybody, man. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
I'm Jarrell. And I am Logan. Thank you for watching this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe the video. And hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding. KO! Jinx, got ya.
Manito the nail.